Greetings, greetings on Saturday. All right. I see everything flying by here on the screen, all your texts, but I'm looking at the camera over here because I need a little distance. Wow. Hey, everybody. So glad to see you. Hey, first off, I'm going to need all of you to be my sound person. All right, everybody. Ooh. Greetings. Oh, no, I'm hearing a delay. Greetings on Saturday. All right. I see everything flying by here on the screen, all your texts, okay, I had to mute my YouTube window. Maybe you were hearing that as well. Okay, so everybody, just tell me, can you hear the guitar? Just say yes on the chat. Just say yes. Coming in loud and clear. And then the next thing is, I have some backing tracks that I'm going to play with, and I want to see if this works. It should sound like just a band playing a blues. Let me know if you can hear this. I'm going to let it play a little bit, okay? Hang on. Sounds like a keyboard and bass. Okay, so you heard the band. Say, yes, I heard the band. Somebody say, yes, I heard the band. The guitar might be a little hot. Okay, did you hear the band? Yeah, you heard the track. Okay, I can take the guitar down a little bit. Okay, so yes, everybody can hear. You can hear that, right? Just somebody say, yes, I hear the band. Good, great. This is a little more complicated than last time. I have many software windows open that in order to make all this happen. So first off, I want to say thank you for stopping by, and I really hope that you are all safe and healthy, and that no one in your family or close to you or you is suffering, and that if they are sorry for licking my fingers, I got to use that for the pick, that if anybody, you or a loved one or a friend, is not feeling well, let's just send them a lot of positive energy and prayers. I have some not great news. My beloved mentor, who I talk about all the time, Mike Longo, has the coronavirus, and he's in Mount Sinai Hospital in New York City right now in the intensive care unit, and he seems to be doing okay, but you know, it's serious business. So what I've done, and please forgive me if I'm not looking at all your texts right now, because there's it's a three-ring circus here on my screen. It's good that you don't see what I'm seeing, because I've got a big new iMac. Here's what I have in store for you today. I have sort of a bigger lesson that I did over on Study with Adam, and it's more of an improvisation lesson, even though I'm a solo fingerstyle guy. And so what I've done is I'm giving you the first little taste of it. We're going to do the lesson hopefully for about half an hour, and then I'll do some chit-chat Q&A where I go up and chat with all of you. So if you have a question, you might want to wait till then. So here's the idea of this lesson today. Many of us have fooled around with some blues guitar, and kind of can jam a little bit over a 12-bar blues. And if you can't do that, just do your best to follow along. But there comes this point for guitar players where all of a sudden jazz and jazzy things and theory seem like this huge leap into something that feels totally unnatural and is incomprehensible and overwhelming. So what I want to show you how to do in this lesson, I want to start giving you an idea of how jazzier, kind of slicker, kind of neat things can come into a blues. And I'm just going to do a few examples because I don't want all your heads to explode. But I'm going to I'm going to go now. Hopefully my screen won't be a total disaster here. I'm going to go now, if I can figure out how to do it, to the PDF. And you should see a nice, hey, do you see that? Yeah. And I should be down in the corner. And I think I can turn myself off if I need to. Let me just get rid of some screens here. Okay, so there's, I sort of made a little PDF. Real quick, is my voice too hot? Is the voice too loud? Anybody there? Did we lose the live stream? Suddenly the line was off. Can't hear me. Oh. Oh. Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, good. Duffy Pratt, no. Check, check, check. Oh, gosh. Okay, some of you can hear me. Some of you say yes, some of you say no. I don't know how to deal with that. Can you hear the guitar? Tell me if yes, you can hear the guitar. Say yes, I can hear the guitar. Voice is good. Check, check, check. Okay. I'm gonna go right ahead, because if I had to stop everything right now and start it again, I don't know what I would do. Okay, yes to the guitar, great. Okay, so I'm gonna just forge right ahead. I really hope this is working. I'm using extra software to try to get this PDF cooking. Hang on one second. Okay, so there's page 1, how to jazz up your blues. Okay, so everybody, if you've got your guitar in your hands, we could even play this together one time. Okay, this is your straight up 12-bar blues, like what you've played before, hopefully. So it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like putting an A7 here. Then second line, A7, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, then E7. Then B7, chip-a-ching, chip. And that keeps going around and around and around. It's 12 times 4 bars. Don't worry, and if you know this, just roll with it, because we're gonna check. Where's the PDF file? I'm only showing this PDF file on the screen right now. Maybe I'll make a download for it. I haven't hooked that up yet because I was like really busy getting this. Okay, so now there's this thing that jazz musicians do, R&B musicians as well. It's a thing called a 2-5-1, but I want to show you where it comes from, because you can use it to sort of make your regular chords in any song, even Beatles songs. You can make things just a little jazzier, make them swim a little. And of course, it's up to you to be tasteful how you do it. So there's an E7 chord. I'm not quite sure what I was thinking here when I put this PDF together. Good old E7, right? Okay. Okay. Now, everybody just, if you've got your guitar in your hands, which I hope that you do, play this. This can be reduced, this E7 chord can be reduced to 3 notes. Sorry. Okay, now if you're not really sure what's going on there when I'm playing those, this is the 7th of the chord. And if you don't know what that is, just nod your head and pretend that you know what it is. That's called the 7th. That's called the 3rd, and that's the root. Okay? That's really all you need for the identity of the chord. In fact, those two upper notes, I'm not seeing anybody's texts roll by. Is everybody still there? The texts stopped. Can somebody? Okay, there, Jackie Kerouac. It's a B E7. Okay, good. Okay, so you're all there. Okay, so you're listening. I just heard a bunch of comments stopping. Okay, so that's your E7 chord. Now let's go to the next screen. Now imagine, okay, great, still rolling. Thank you, Miles. Now you've heard stuff where you make a chord kind of swim a little bit with this kind of sound. Like Pinball Wizard. Right? Or on a D chord, you've done, where you take that third of the chord and you make like a pretty kind of suspension. That sort of gives you a little lift. It sort of puts a magic carpet under the chord, if you will. So that gets very heavy. But if you have, and I'm sure you've heard salsa stuff that sounds like. So imagine that, okay? So now let's take that one step further. I'm just trying to lead you with stuff that hopefully you know the sound of. Now, those two notes, let me go back here. What those two top notes in this chord, in the sus4, and don't worry about the numbers and all the names, just think of the sound. It sort of looks like that. A B minor 7 going to an E7. My guitar doesn't sound exactly in tune. I don't know. Let's try to think of songs that just do this kind of motion. Don't worry about the Roman numerals yet. Odd couple theme. I'm going. That sort of helps keep things afloat. And it's a little jazzier. Okay, it's some stuff is moving in the chord. It's not quite like, it's not like a ZZ Top move, if you will. Okay. So then this starts to be a very common progression. See, imagine not seeing that B minor 7. We would just see E7 going to A7. Like on the blues, right? E7 just going right to A7. But now we have the possibility to add a little bit of color, which is what we're going to do. We're going to stick a B minor 7 into that sort of blues paradigm that I showed you the changes to before. Okay? All right. Kill the PDF. Well, you'll see there's tabs that you're going to need to read in the PDF. Okay, I know I know it's not perfect. I'm doing my best here. Let's skip past this. That's just more of the same. So now we had all these measures, these 4-beat measures of E7 in the blues that I showed you. And in the very last measure, instead of playing E7 for 4 beats, we're going to play B minor 7 and then E7. So part of playing jazz is that this thought process of I can split any 7th chord into this anytime a 7th chord comes, I can split it. There's a minor chord that can go right before it. Okay, just roll with it. I know this is brand new information for some of you. Okay, so now everybody just grab your guitar, because you might jam along a little bit with the backing track when I hit go. This is just a scale coming down, and of course that all by itself doesn't really sound like much, but once you start making it dance a little bit, like what's on the right, now playing the blues, it's sort of, I can't really get right now into the feel. You know, if you're a classical guitarist and you're playing this stuff for the first time, you have to do some real digging to get the right kind of feel on the melodies. That's a big subject which I won't get into here, but just do your best and play some of this stuff. Okay. Hey, Jerry. Oh, man. My man, Jerry. We were in a band together. Stay safe, Jerry. All right. Good to see you. Okay, so let's go to the next thing. Okay, so now excuse me. What I wanted to suggest here was a lot of guitarists get stuck in these sort of box-shaped pentatonic and it feels so good once you're in it. You almost can't imagine another sort of another melodic force. You know, when you get these great blues players who can like kill it on a telly, you know, it's almost like a certain kind of skill, and it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. But then it's like, oh my gosh, how do I get something jazzier in there? It almost requires a different touch and a different way of looking at the guitar. So what I'm going to do now is, if you've got your guitar or a piano, or if you have nothing, you can even sing this. I've written out a really simple line here that will outline a B minor 7 chord going to an E7 chord. So we're going to sidestep all that pentatonic-y kind of blues stuff, which is great, and that's what's going to get the people anyway, is the blues. But we're gonna try a line with a little bit of color now, and I'm gonna sing it badly for you. It's gonna be, well, ba 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 ba. Yeah. So if you're stuck in pentatonics or stuck in that blues thing, check this out. It's going to feel a little new and unnatural at first. It's new vocabulary. So this first note, the 8, I'm going to give you the correct theoretical names, because, you know, other guys have better street smarts than me sometimes, but I'm very thankful that I got the book smarts from having studied music. That's called a accented lower neighbor. It's not a passing tone, it's a lower neighbor. It's leading up into that B, that note B there, the 9, which belongs to the B minor 7 chord. The ba, 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 ba. We're just outlining a B minor 7 chord. So we're approaching it from a half step below. And then fits on the 2 9s there, fit on the E7 chord. So ba 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 ba. Okay, and if you've ever seen a jazz pianist play where they play little chords, very often they're playing a little chord like that, and in the right hand they're playing a melody like this, ba 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 ba. So think of this little line as we're going to train a little on it. We'll play it a couple times. It's like I said, it's a different touch it's different from all that stuff. You're going to have to maybe play a little bit lighter And, I'm not real in practice with my picking chops these days, but do more downstrokes than upstrokes. You'll get a nicer sound. Don't worry about doing this fast. Okay? So here, let's just all try to play it. I'm going to play it. I'm going to cycle it through, 4, 5, 6 times, something like that. So it's going to be 1, 2, ready, and boom, 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 Now you keep playing. Boom, 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 baby, boom, 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 boom. Keep going. Play it again. Boom, 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 baby, boom. One more. Congratulations. This might have been a breakthrough moment where you're actually playing on the chord changes. And the thing is, you need a couple lines, melody lines like this. Yeah, oye como va. Exactly. You need a couple lines like this prepared, because if you're confronted with a lead sheet where you just see changes, oh my God, it's like a panic, and then you end up trying to play a pentatonic scale on every chord, but they're going by too fast. So you actually have to work on little melody lines like this, and I show you sort of in the bigger course how to practice them. Okay, so now check this out. That's what's going to happen. We're going to play the blues, and I've got a backing track for this that we're all going to play along with. A7, and you guessed it, we're going to play the line. We're going to go boom, 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 baby, and then we're just going to play the blues after that. Okay, so right in bar 4, where those chord changes are magenta, is where we're going to put this line. Now, I'd never recommend sticking in melody notes when you're actually soloing. Okay, like preconceived. But what will happen is you'll start to see this shape of the neck, and you'll go through the motions a couple of times. Because, for a lot of people, if you say, well, you have to learn a Charlie Parker song like Donna Lee with something with a lot of chops, that's too big a stretch. So everybody, okay, my cat's sleeping on the desk, but I got the computer mouse. So I'm going to do the backing track. And there it is. I just put the first 4 bars so it would be big enough. And so hang on. I really hope this works. This is like a whole thing, a whole tech operation here. So I'm going to hit play on the backing track. And, excuse me for licking my fingers, I'm going to kind of show you, I'm going to talk this through, and you can just jam along with me if you want. Okay? So here we go. Oops, 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 oops. This is just regular blues, right? Here we go, the line. Back to the blues. You play along with me now, okay? Just play whatever you want here. Now you're going to do the line right here. Sorry. Once more, let's do it. Here it is. let's stop there. The guitar is a little hot. I'm too small in the left corner. Oh, sorry, I didn't make myself. I didn't make myself big enough. Let me bring the volume of the guitar down. Hang on. Sorry, I made myself small in the left corner. Hang on. Guitar's a little hot. Okay, I'm bringing the guitar down. Okay, sorry if I don't have all the technical stuff going. I'm playing and I'm doing. So could you hear the backing track and the guitar, and could you hear the line as it happened against the changes? Just type let me know you could hear it. Okay. Could you hear the line against the changes? Okay. The guitarist is hot, Jerry. Yes, thank you. Sounds like the backing track has an echo. Hey guys, I'm doing my best. Okay. Hey, Andrew Fry's in the house. All right. What's up, Andy? Okay. Yeah, it's all routing through the, one thing's going through the interface and another thing's coming off the computer. So I'm sorry if the timing ain't perfect. Okay. But you get the idea. So now let's keep going. We're going to do a 2-5 line in a different spot. We're going to do the same line. Okay. This one, it's going to fit over the lines. It's going to fit over F sharp minor 7 to B7. And after this one, we're going to stop. We're just going to do these two lines. It's the same line, actually. So why don't you play this line with me? 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry. A 1, 2. Let me just keep it simple. 1, 2, ready, and okay. So we're gonna have a spot in the blues, actually in bar 12, where we're gonna do this. And I may play this an octave lower. It's the same shape. Okay. Hang on a sec, everybody. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring the guitar volume down a little bit more because it's coming through the mic as well. Okay. All righty. So what's happening is, and please understand, hang on, this is a little, the window's getting cut. Hang on. I don't know if you can see the whole thing. That is the whole thing. It should be 3 lines. There's more in the course, and I'm not doing this to pitch the course. I'm doing this just to help you understand this stuff. There's all different spots that you can put fancy ones and ones with substitution. I'm going to play you an ultra advanced one at the end. Okay, so now here's what's going to happen. At the end of the blues, we're going to put this second 2-5 line. And, I know one of you wanted me to make the guitar, the image of me with the guitar bigger, but I want you to see where these things, I wanted you to see where these lines are falling, so that when I play something that's outside of the typical blues pentatonic stuff, you know what I'm thinking. Okay, because that's always the problem. It's like, man, what are those jazz guys thinking? What are they doing? And this is bite-sized. It's the same melody line. You could literally, one is, I actually fingered that one here. 2 ways to do the same thing, and then this one. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, the echoes in my head. Okay, hang on. So that's the only jazz line I'm doing. I'll go to the bigger picture now. Hang on. I'll go to full. Entire screen. No, that was wrong. Current preview. Hang on. Boom. No? How do I do it? All right, there we go. So now I'm going to hit play on the music app. Hang on. And it's going to be, so in bar 4, going the B minor 7, and then again in the very last bar. I'll call it out. And if you can play along with me, just play along with me, okay? Hang on. Audio's coming. Okay. This is all the same. It's the blues. Now here's the 2/5. All blues. In bar 12, we're going to do that other line. Here it goes. Did you hear that? Sorry, I spaced out. Here we go. No, not yet, even though this is a chord change here. Here we go. And let's do one more. Here we go. Okay, this will be the last one. Keep going, play the blues. And now here we go, last line. Okay. Hey, Dan Diamond's in the house. Hey, man, how you doing? Dan, Dan and I have the same bumper music. If you've ever seen my videos, I made that music for him. But Dan, I use it as bumper music too. Okay, so now you saw 2 spots where you can put this kind of a 2-5-1 line in. Okay, I'm going to go back to the screen so you can see this. Let's see what I got next. No, don't go there. Now there are other lines that you can learn. I'm going to show you a few other things. If you want to digest a line like this, the 2-5-1 line, but not have to play the whole 12-bar blues each time, you can just practice it coming down 2 frets at a time, and that'll really throw you into a jazz guitar kind of sound. Bo 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 be bam bam ba danga dungi danga ba bo bo be bam bam ba doo doo be da da ba doo doo da da. I'm just going down a whole step. So one time, this B minor 7 to E7, then 2 frets down, then 2 frets down again. And when you run out of frets, figure out where do you need to go and try to keep track of the changes. So that really starts sounding like jazz. And it fits, so you're practicing this little, almost like a little widget that fits over chord changes. Okay, so now what I want to do to sort of inspire you, hopefully, there's the last track has some fancy substitutions with different 2-5-1s. It's the same tempo blues. It's this slow blues. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play, and I'm going to kind of improvise freely. And I want you to hear how it weaves between a blues feeling and a feeling where like it sounds jazzier. And like, so when you say to yourself, man, what is that? Is that modes? Is it scales? Is it arpeggios? What are those jazz guys doing? If you need to play over chord changes, you need to know lines that fit over a 2 and a 5. Okay, so you can just forget about all that BS with modes. That's just a bunch of baloney. You're not going to be able to think of a mode fast enough to play over chord changes that go by. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, since I haven't written out the chord changes for this, I'm just going to go to the full cam, and I'm going to play freely over this so that you can hear some sort of fancier stuff over the chord changes, okay? Like here, watch this. Okay, so did you hear that color? Let me just stop it there. That was something different other than that was a sort of inside out thing, which will be a little bit too confusing to get into right now. But I did. It's actually F minor. Okay? I'm not going to explain to you why that works because that would be too much for our lesson today. But there's all kinds of neat things like that when you build step by step and understand it, then it all makes sense. Okay, so here we go. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Did you hear all those other colors that you can get into the blues? Pretty cool. No, it's not melodic minor scale. No, no, no. Miguel, you don't get the point. Oh, gosh. Miguel Iglesias, the point is to add jazzy colors to the blues so that you break out of the pentatonic stuff. It's not melodic minor scales, Joel. Is that your name, Joel? Joel. It's not. It's lines. It's all lines like this 2-5-1 thing that I showed you. Yeah, it is being recorded. It is being recorded. Okay? So, watch. I just want to make this clear. There's this little line, right? And if I go, I'm just going down 2 frets. From that line, you can hear. You can hear the chord changes. It's not scales. It's not modes. It's called a 2-5 line. And so let's just go back real quick. I'm going to show you that one spot. All you got to do, what am I doing? Oh, good grief, good grief. Oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't know I could do that. Let's go back. Hang on. If you can put in one of these, that's all you got to do. Play your E blues, and where I did that B minor 7 to E7 in pink, try to play this line. That's all you got to do. This is going to be like me throwing a pebble in the water of your mind, and sort of a chain reaction will come. You'll start to go, oh, I get it, once you put your fingers there. Okay? So I hope this puts some light bulbs. Prentice, hey, how you doing? How do I approach phrasing when I solo? That's another thing. Here's what we're going to do now. I'm going to put this away. I'm going to go to the cam. We've been going for, how long we've been going for? 40 minutes or so, something like that. We've been going for about 40 minutes. Let's just chit chat. I'll do some Q&A for half an hour or so. By the way, two shameless little advertisements. This guitar, I just want to tell you, I haven't quite committed to like doing my solo repertoire on it, but it's a guitar by a guy named Daniel Zuccali. Daniel Zuccali. And this is a serious, high quality, handmade nylon string guitar. And if you know, he doesn't like me saying this, but if you know the company Hanukkah Guitars, or it's either Hanukkah or Hanukkah, he was the workshop boss. He oversaw all the guitar building. This thing is a gem. And this is the crossover model. He builds mainly straight up classicals, but this is like thinner with low action and a pickup. So fingerstyle on a nylon kind of comes to life with fingernails. And we all know that I don't have fingernails, at least right now. So let me set this bad boy down where it can't get hurt. And let me jump on with all of you. I'm going to go to full screen now. The chat window. Matter of fact, I might switch cameras so that I can read your chats a little bit better. Hang on. Camera. Let's do the FaceTime cam. That way I can get closer to the screen. Okay. Okay. My cat is tipping the screen. All right, everybody. I'm all. Oops, sorry. Mic is not in front of me. All right. Let me go to the YouTube screen now, where I can see your comments. Okay. I don't know if I can answer everybody, but I'm going to try. Hey, everybody. I see a bunch of my Study with Adam students. Okay, another little plug for this. If this interests you, if this stuff interests you, there's a whole lesson. There's a whole thing with all the play-alongs and all the PDFs. And, the cat. Come on, kitty. If I lock him out, he'll make too much noise. There's a whole thing on Study with Adam. There's a 14-day free trial. You can check that out. Okay, that's the end of my plug. Okay, I'm here to answer questions now. Duffy. Yeah, okay, here you were answering someone. Jeffrey Davis. Just started jazz lessons, and a good example of the drop by Holstack. Yep. Many jazz songs have that cycle where you go through that. Okay, Tim Alexander. Good question. He's saying, how does that serve as a 2-5-1 in the key of E? So let me explain something. We're in the key of E. And you might be saying, wait a minute, 2-5? The B minor 7 isn't a 2 chord. This is sort of a shorthand. You know, for example, you could be in a song, pick a song, and you could have a 2 chord, a 5 chord, and a 1 chord. But that little move of the minor 7 chord going to a 7th chord, a 4th up, that thing as like a little unit, or imagine that like this. Let me just show the screen one more time. Oh, you are seeing the screen. You are seeing the screen. So these changes in pink, think of that as a cell that we just call that a 2/5. It's just easy to call it that. Now, a 2 chord in the key of E is F sharp minor. So this is not for harmonic analysis. This is, because if you see a jazz song with lots of different 2/5 things like this, a jazz musician might say, oh man, it's a 2/5, and then you go up another a minor third, and then it's a 2/5 in E flat, and then it's a 2/5. So it's just a way to stay organized. Okay, so it's not really the 2 chord of the key. Okay, it's called a 2/5. Okay. Let's look. I'm looking for other questions. If you got questions, just okay. Okay. Hey, Ukraine's there. All right. Not hearing the echo anymore. Get it now. The snippet covers a minor third. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, if you look at the lines. Hang on. Yeah. Okay. So any other questions? Now I'm here for questions. Miles, if E7 was the 5, then B would be the 2. No, you're not understanding it, Miles, but it's hard to understand. So let me explain it one more time. We are in the key of E. No matter how many crazy changes I just played, we are in the key of E. And the B minor 7, E7 leading into the A7, we just call that a 2/5. That leads into this A7, okay? How do I push through frustration and boredom while learning a new song? Man, if you're having frustration and boredom learning a song, you're learning the wrong song. You shouldn't be learning that song. Learn songs that don't bore you or frustrate you. Frustration, I do experience frustration quite a bit when I try to do things that are out of my comfort zone. It just means you need to slow down and break things down a little more simply and be very patient with yourself. All this stuff takes a lot of time to learn. Okay? So, Prentice, is it a substitution of the 4 chord? I don't know if you're asking me that. There is no substitution of the 4 chord on this blues. A7 is the 4 chord. Okay? We are spicing up this 4th measure. Instead of it being a bland E7, the way, for example, imagine you're hearing a down-home blues band, a guitar-based band. They would just rock on an E7 and maybe do a real loud drum fill at that spot. But there's a way to do a chord change to sort of make it smoother and slicker. That's more of a jazz sensibility. I'm not saying it's better. I'm saying it's just another way to do it. You want me to go full screen? Yeah, I'll go full screen. Hang on. I'll go full screen again. Okay. The cat keeps tipping the screen. Okay. So here's what I'd like to do. Hang on. I don't want to get into like all computer geekdom right now. I will. Would it be helpful for me to make this thing that I used as the PDF downloadable? Would that help you? Tim Alexander, yes. It's a 2/5 that leads into the 4 chord. We just call it a 2/5. It's like a cell. Think of it like a little widget. Okay? That's exactly. Hey, Thorsten Ponto's in the house. Okay. So, any other questions? I'm going to try something. There's my software. Hey. I'm going to add this. Can I do this? Yes. Okay, check that out. Like I was able to drop Tim's thing on the screen. So the 2-5 refers to the A7 landing point. Yes, that's it. Okay. Oh, I don't want to end the broadcast. I want to get rid of that. Okay. All right. So I'm looking at the questions now. Any other questions? Keep asking everybody. Okay. Ask me. I'm here. Okay. I'm waiting for questions. I don't see anything. Can I explain when I played out? I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure I understand that. Elmer asked me. He says, Adam, during the improvisation, I heard you using major and minor pentatonic. Yes. Okay. I never think, wow, I have to use a scale, but I think of the melody notes. I don't have the guitar in my hands. So I'm playing an improvisation the same way that I would speak. Okay, so sometimes if this is the key of E, wee, when I started out, very often I was going woo, blee, 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 blee. Okay, that's happens to be that major sound. And then when I wanted a little more bite, I would go wee, dee, 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 G, E, D, B, A. And so that's more something that you should just get your hands on the guitar and listen to those different sounds. Okay, don't try to plug a scale in per se. Every scale is just melody notes, and listen to that way that one melody note might hang on the chord changes. Okay. Jazzy had a question here. Hang on. Hi, Adam. I feel sometimes that lines don't come out naturally. They feel forced, but the rest of my playing feels meandering. Thoughts about how to make lines more organic in my playing. I'm going to assume, and I see something from Mike also. Let me answer that, Jay-Z. I do recommend, if you're a jazz player, learning tunes by Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie, and learn some bebop kind of jazz tunes where it challenges you and you need to play some lines. And that will, the more that you play with people, it will wire into your musicality. You never want to play these lines totally with your head. I mean, you may have to start, but you want to be able to sing them. So if you can't sing one of these lines, you have no business playing it. Okay, so, or that sounds a little extreme. Let me try to reword that. Strive to sing the lines that you're playing. So like this, ball, 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 baby, ball. Okay, so I believe Mike Rollins, there was a question on the screen. Do I hear this in my head when I'm playing? And it's a combination. The cat moved the computer again. I know what the stuff's going to sound like, and I try to play lyrically. And yes, I can sing it. And yes, I've done ear training with this, but it definitely, it takes time. It's like learning another language. If you just, took a foreign language and asked these questions that you're all asking about music, you'd see a lot of the answers. For example, it might be unnatural to, in a foreign language, ask where the bathroom is. But if you do it enough, it eventually wires so that when you really feel that you're asking, where's the bathroom, you can then blurt it out in a foreign language. So it just takes some working with it. There's a great blues, if you want to learn it, that I suggest, called West Coast Blues by Wes Montgomery. That's a funny change that line is on. And it's bluesy and groovy, but it's got some changes. And it's a thing that you could just focus on and learn the music to if you want to get this sort of thing happening in your playing. Okay, I do not have perfect pitch, no. I have pretty good relative pitch, though. Okay. What simple play-along recordings can I recommend? Well, for this course, just so you know, I have a bunch of different play-alongs of this thing that you heard with varying degrees of changes getting complicated. I never played with play-alongs, but as a developing musician. But now, sometimes for fun, I just fire them up on YouTube. Just look on YouTube. There's play-alongs right there. For example, my electric bass, I'll play some bass along with some jazz tunes online. Hey, Mike, thanks for coming by. Off to feed the dog. I saw your bass lines question, but that's a whole other can of worms. I'm looking at Ken Burke's question. He asks about putting in another kind of 2/5. All of these things are possible. It's a question of taste. Okay, you have to listen, and it has to fit the melody. And, if you hear, there are many jazz blueses that don't even sound like blues anymore. They stay on the form, but they have so many 2/5s, it almost just sounds like a jazz song. So it's a question of, on your if straight up, ZZ Top is all the way on one side, and a highly over substituted blues, like maybe something written by the pianist Bud Powell, is over here, it doesn't really even sound like a bluesy blues anymore. You want to just figure out how you want the tune to sound. George Cole, am I still using the conga? Yes. Raffaele, what can help me? Okay, Raffaele says, what can help me when I'm playing feel to hear the change of the 5/1? I think you meant the 2/5. I would suggest a play-along track, and you can play a play-along track by yourself, just comp. I did that a lot when I was practicing jazz. Sometimes I'd make a comp track and play a tune 3 or 4 times and then play along with it. You don't need to do anything super, super high tech. Okay, I'm listening. We're coming up on an hour. So are there any other questions? I think we should probably sign off so the playback isn't too long. Miles, any recommendations on where to get good play-along tracks? Jamie Aebersold is the classic play-along tracks, but I think you can just fire up YouTube and if you put like Blue Bossa play-along, that's a song, Blue Bossa, or Autumn Leaves, you'll find a bunch of people who have done play-alongs. The only thing that I don't like about some of the play-alongs is if the groove is not really good, you're going to get used to playing with not a good groove under you. Okay, so, but you can give it a try. You can give it a try. Hey, Jonas, great. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everybody. So I'm going to sign off real soon. Oh, how about comping over 251? Okay. Ryan asks, how about comping over 251? That may be a lesson for next time. Okay. So before I say goodbye, there's a couple, and I'm sorry if I couldn't get to everybody. I'm going to sign off in 1 minute, so hang out. Everybody, I really hope that you're doing okay with this sort of pretty much now we're going to be cooped up inside. That's one of the reasons I want to reach out to all of you. I know this corona thing, it's really frightening. It's scary. Some of us and some of our loved ones are suffering. Hopefully there won't be too many casualties, but I'm with all of you in spirit, and I just pray for the best and that this thing gets under control. And I hope you enjoyed this. And if you want to get deeper into lessons, I'd love to teach you. I'm available. I have my online school, Study with Adam, where you can actually upload videos to me. And once a month I go through and I make personalized video replies. So I actually get to have much more of a two-way conversation than this. I listen to you. I get to know you. We build a rapport, and I coach you on whatever the next thing you need to be doing is. So that's called studywithadam.com. And so, yeah. And as you can imagine, myself and a lot of musicians got taken off tour. I didn't have very many tour dates booked, but what few dates I had are now off the calendar. So I'm going to be here online. And somebody asked me about an online concert next Saturday, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do this, but maybe I'll do it Sunday night. Hey, we're going to be home. So I'm going to try to do another one of these in a week. And do me a favor, please leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought. Of course, we got the whole chat thing here going. And if there's something that you'd like me to cover in a future lesson, then I can prepare something, or if you want me to go deeper into something. So everybody, God bless, stay safe, have fun feeding your pets and feeding your family, and keep your spirits up and practice hard, and feel free to email me anytime. Email is adam@adamrafferty.com. I'm here for you, so I'm going to sign off. God bless. Thanks for coming by. All right.